I did a degree in mathematics at Heriot-Watt University in Edinburgh. I made a decision at that point that I wanted to do something that made a difference in the world. I remember chatting to my tutor who suggested that I become a code breaker for GCHQ, which is the UK's government service, and at that point I thought that's really not making a difference. So I instead did a gap year with a charity, and my gap year lasted 14 years because they kept me on afterwards. So amongst that, I worked for a furniture collection service. So I started really about social enterprise, about collecting furniture, selling it in charity shops to generate income to provide furniture for people who didn't have furniture. So that was kind of enterprise number one. Working in the voluntary charitable sector, the best thing about it is there isn't a box. In terms of if you're willing to step out of the box, if you're willing to take on new things, people will never say, "Oh no, you can't do that. That's not your role." The challenge is to realise that there is no lid to the box. So it's almost about your own ability to want to do things. So it's about really your sense of, I suppose to some extent there's a sense of to realise that your future is what you make it. When you work for the voluntary sector, the opportunities are there for taking. There is always plenty of opportunity to develop yourself. You're not put in a box. It's not like working for a corporate organisation. You are given opportunities to develop and to learn to manage people and just to make things happen. There's less boundaries, there's less structure, so it's a good sector to work in. The threats are quite often that it's a very popular sector to work in. It's not an easy sector to work in, but sometimes the perception is that it's a nice sector to work in, and it is. But I mean, it often involves long hours. It often involves a lot of hard work, and you don't always have the resources that other people have. So it's quite a challenging sector to work in. But because it's perceived as a nice sector to work in, the competition for jobs particularly is quite heavy, and it's quite tough to get some of the more senior positions that. Okay, I mean, I think working in the voluntary sector is always really quite tough. You know, funding is always a challenge, resources are always a challenge. Sometimes you're faced with a decision of just making the best of what you have. And whilst in an ideal world you'd love there to be more resources, you'd love there to be more money, you just have to grit your teeth and get on with it and recognise that what you have is what you have, and the resources you have are the resources you have. And so I suppose it's about just trying to make the best of what you can, and just grit your teeth and get on with it. I think what gives me inspiration is the reason that I wanted to work in the voluntary sector. I mean, I really want to change the world, and I want to make the world a better place, and that is my inspiration. My inspiration is seeing lives changed. At the project here, sometimes a good day for some people is when they smile, and actually when you see people smile you think, actually, do you know, today I have made a difference. And my inspiration is about seeing people's lives that I've made a difference with. It's about knowing that there are people in Edinburgh who have somewhere to sleep because I've been involved in creating a business that generates income. It's about knowing that the community here is the backbone for some of the people who we need, and it's their safety net, and it's their community, it's their family. And knowing that, and knowing that it's made a real difference, that's my inspiration. I have a favourite saying. This is one that I kind of run my life by, and it's a verse that comes from the Bible. It's the man of integrity walks securely, but he who takes crooked paths will be found out. And I think, you know, for me it says if you do the right thing you'll be okay, and if you do the wrong thing you won't be okay. And sometimes when you see injustice around you, you think, well, what happens there? But actually, 9 times out of 10, if somebody's doing something they shouldn't be doing, it does get found out anyway. So the reality is it's just about focusing on doing what's right. And if you focus on doing what's right, walking that path of integrity, things will be okay. So that's probably my favourite saying. I think my advice to other women who want to start up their own business or develop themselves would be to just go for it, just to do it, that you have within you what you need, and it's just about tapping into your inner resources, tapping into your inner resilience and just going for it. The only person that will stop you achieving what you want to achieve is actually yourself, and it's just about going for it and making it happen, really.